Checkity check. Check, check.
Check, 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 check.
Check, 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 check.
Oh, good, we have an intro.
Check.
I don't usually let Patrick do the intro, but I feel like that kind of obnoxious behavior is...
Check, 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 check.
Like, that almost feels like there should be a theme song.
If that doesn't get someone to turn the podcast off immediately, I don't know what will.
They're lifers. Yeah,
Right.
if you made it through that 10 seconds, you're a lifer.
That's right.
Welcome to the
if
show.
You're still here with us? Wow. Hey, welcome back to Even More Meshed Up. We are the pop culture podcast coming to you straight from the Misericordia University, where we talk about all things pop culture. I'm Alan.
And I am Patrick, and today is another installation of what's probably our most regular installment, Trailer Park.
Beep, beep, boop, boop, honk, honk.
Okay, that's my sound effect.
I was so looking forward to that.
Oh, meep, meep.
Beep, boop. Meet more.
The trailer backed up into a into a moped or something.
It's a different kind of trailer. So we're talking about Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man Far From Home,
And Dark Phoenix.
and X-Men Dark Phoenix. Unless we spend all of our time on Avengers Endgame, which
I don't
is
know why that
entirely
would
possible.
happen, given that we are sitting here with Patrick, who is the world's greatest Avengers fan.
Can I just say, we didn't mention this in the Captain Marvel show, but another one of my disappointments with Captain Marvel,
Yeah.
I did not get the Avengers Endgame trailer.
That was strange.
I got Downton Abbey.
We got Downton Abbey, too.
I'm like, that's a weird...
Of all the
interesting-
Are you
trailers
going to
to
go see the
get,
Downton Abbey movie?
I haven't seen the show, so...
I have
I
a
also didn't
feeling-
like that they just listed, like, the characters and not the actors. I was like, that's kind of...
It was like an invitation. It was weird.
Yeah.
It
I
was
was
weird,
like,
but
well,
it's like-
it's a teaser trailer. Because they're like, the trailer coming in a couple months. And I'm like,
It's a PBS show turned into a movie,
Yeah.
so you don't expect the
I
trailer
mean,
to
it
be
is a
sort of
popular.
yeah.
PBS
It
show.
was.
I watched it.
Yeah, you
because-
guys watched it. I watched an episode with you. It was good.
Vicky and Hope loved it. It was good.
Yeah.
It was a little.
But yeah, so that was, I was a little, I was
little
like, how
much
did I
for
not
me,
get an Endgame trailer? I got Dark Phoenix, I got Far From Home, but no Endgame trailer before Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
A little weird.
yeah.
little
Dark
weird.
Phoenix worries me a little bit.
Yeah, it does not look good.
We'll see.
worries
The
me.
most recent trailer looks better.
Well, the one they released in Europe looked better than the one they.
I think that's
released
what I mean by the
here.
recent one.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. You know, I love the X-Men.
you do.
I'm a little worried about that.
And are you?
Although they
Is
did
a little
last
part of
night.
you sad that the Avengers franchise kind of outpaces the X-Men franchise
In
the
every
movies?
way,
Well, in the movies, yes. I mean,
And-
in the
and-
comics these days.
and
But given like back in the
Everywhere.
'80s when X-Men outpaced Avengers.
oh, there was once a day where my X-Men ruled the comic book.
Oh
world,
God, yeah.
but they do not anymore.
Oh God, me in the '80s, I never would have imagined an Avengers movie.
You know, how much of that is the MCU?
It's a lot.
It is. It really is because
It's a lot.
Marvel didn't have access to the X-Men.
Yeah.
Had they had access to the X-Men,
Oh, they would have done.
they would have done X-Men films.
Oh, the X-Men would be part of. If they, yeah, the
It's
X-Men
very-
Fantastic
it's-
Four would be part of the MCU.
It's a very interesting kind of like
what if scenario.
consequence. Oh man, I never was a big fan of the what if.
I never
comic
was
books.
either. They always ended with like some apocalyptic ending.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, oh, Punisher shot the wrong guy. Earth is doomed.
yeah.
There's only one
like-
good timeline. Everything else is
Like
just
every
pain and
single
misery.
one was
a
always
fair
like this
point on Rich's
massive
point.
apocalypse. What would happen if everybody was venomized? Well, the world would end.
Yeah.
What would happen if Rogue got Thor's hammer? Well, the world would end.
Yeah. Really, yeah, everyone's life hangs on the.
But hey,
balance
speaking
a
of
minor
things
thread.
ending,
Yeah. Yes.
we should talk about Avengers Endgame on this installment of Trailer Park.
Beep, beep, boop, boop,
Oh,
beep,
beep,
beep.
beep.
It just sounds like a traffic jam.
Yeah.
I don't know why it
On
puts
the
me
way
in
back
mind
from
of
the
Trailer
Kree
Park,
home
but
world,
I
there's a
don't know.
big rush hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back from the Stargate.
Yeah, back at the Stargate. We're all backed up at the Stargate.
All right, so Avengers Endgame trailer.
Avengers Endgame trailer.
Would you like to start?
I do. Do I have to?
No.
I've got some odds on like what will happen, but
we should save that for
we
later.
should build
Yeah.
to that.
Yeah.
I will say that Tony's heartfelt goodbye to Pepper
Yeah.
it kind of pulls at the heartstrings.
It
a little
is,
bit.
except I feel bad that like Pepper keeps getting messages from Tony in Iron Man helmets.
Yeah. Well, how else is he going to do it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Not
phone.
go on the alien ship?
Does it make you worried that he says part of the journey is the end?
No, because this is in some ways it's clearly the end of the MCU as we've known it, in one way or another.
Is it clear?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm very much accepting that a lot of
Oh, Richard is here.
That's okay. I don't need to say anything.
I like the Under Armour skull cap. Looks good.
Like, thank you.
You mean scroll cap?
Skull cap. That's good. Damn it! What?
No,
what's wrong with
I
that
know.
one? Ah.
It holds my skull candies.
That one I already used.
Yeah, we already used that one.
I don't know what I was saying anymore.
So we don't get a ton in this trailer.
We don't.
Now, the
although-
producers are saying that they're only showing stuff from like the first 20 or 30
first
minutes
20
of the film.
yeah.
So
Which I think is really smart.
it is. I mean, they probably don't even have to show that much. They probably just have to say Avengers Endgame is in theaters April 26th.
Yeah.
And
No,
you would probably get
I
the
think that's
same
true.
amount of people. Like,
I would say that there's a chance, in comparing it to Dark Phoenix, that there's a danger of revealing too much in a trailer.
yes. Oh, and even outside of the trailer.
Yeah, right. But the trailer kind of set it up. Yeah, like that. Yeah, that.
We'll get to
probably.
Dark Phoenix.
You should probably kind of hold stuff back, which
Yeah.
is clearly what Avengers
Well,
is
well,
doing
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Although, I guess Thanos has become a farmer because he's taken his old armor and he's made it into like a scarecrow.
Scarecrow, yeah.
Why does he need a scarecrow? Isn't he scary enough?
That was old Thanos.
Really?
New
Farmer
Thanos is
Thanos.
terrifying.
Farmer Thanos is pretty chill.
So he's like Uncle Joe Stalin, like the
Yeah. But don't worry.
like where we soften him for a while because
I'm pretty sure he's putting that armor on at some point.
you think so.
Well, because he's in one of the new Lego sets.
It's going to be full of like straw and it's going to be all itchy.
It's going to be very itchy. That's
Yeah,
how
like-
they defeat him. Thanos
just
is
like-
so
he's
itchy.
like- he's just itching
Ugh.
Yeah, he's like, I'm
Oh
going
my god, it's so itchy. I wish this never happened. Oh,
The movie's 10 minutes long.
or they just like put on a really catchy tune and Thanos starts snapping.
Oh, that's
Oh,
People just keep popping back like,
no. They take him to like a beat poetry bar.
there you go. Oh, that's the time travel bit. They go to like Allen Ginsberg's first reading of Howl. Thanos like, wow, I really dig this. This is oh no!
Why hasn't Marvel hired us
I
to
don't
write
know.
this stuff? We've got itchy Thanos.
Yeah.
We've got beatnik
you
Thanos.
got Alan
what if-
X. Ginsberg.
Yeah.
Like, what else do you need?
What? Yes, I saw the best minds of my generation wiped out with a snap.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's
Starving, hysterical, armored.
well, once armored.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
He'll be armored again. You know how I know that? He's in a Lego set.
Oh, the Legos. Thanks for bringing that up, Rich.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
So, yeah, I mean, that, again, going back to the point, they don't really need to promote this movie at all, really.
No.
Like,
No.
just enough to, like, I'm not even sure that they should release another trailer. Like, that's it. Just call it a day. You know.
Yeah.
You're not going to know anything else.
So, in the one trailer, you see Tony and Nebula making something.
Do you?
Theories? What are they making?
Well, they're probably fixing up the Benatar.
Pat Benatar?
No, that's the name of the Guardian ship, is the Benatar.
Named after Pat Benatar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't know that? The ship that they have in Infinity War is called the Benatar.
How would I know that? Did they say it in the movie?
No, they never say it in the movie, but it was mentioned in the press. I think it might be in the Lego set. That it is the
I can never
Benatar.
stop
So you think they're just
apologizing.
fixing the ship?
It is. Well, because the one thing, like, this is one of my theories, is you know, because obviously the trailer starts with Tony, like, they're running out of air and things like that.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple theories about how Tony and Nebula get rescued.
Okay.
So one of them is that it's some combination of Rocket and or Thor. Because they've got the pod back on Nidavellir.
Right.
You got to assume that the pod can track the main ship, because they got to get back together at some point. Thor has the Bifrost energy in Stormbreaker, so you figure they teleport back to the pod, Rocket uses the tracker, and Thor Bifrost them to wherever the Benatar is.
That's a fairly dull theory, but okay.
The other theory is that they're on frickin' Titan, which is a moon of Saturn. They're in the Milky Way. They're not that far from Earth.
It's still a pretty good distance.
They could find them.
I
Well,
mean,
my other theory
they're
is that
far enough.
You know, my theory is they have more air than Tony suspects, and they just drift back.
they
to
drift
Earth.
back to Earth.
Yeah.
That's
My
possible.
theory?
The other,
they both die.
yeah.
That's
The other
it.
theory is that
Tony dies
'cause one of
20
the
minutes in.
We watched
one of
Tony
the
just choke
rumors
to death.
is that
That's grim.
Pepper is going to appear as Rescue in this
Yes.
film, and so you know, she dons the armor and rescues
That would be kinda neat,
Tony
actually.
and Nebula.
Yeah.
because she gets the message in the hat and tracks it.
I guess so. That's a lot of theories.
I like the Rocket one.
Yeah.
That's the one I kind of like.
I love the Super Bowl version where it's kind of it opens to the world after the snap.
Yeah,
New York City in the fog, like the bleak Statue
Mm-hmm.
of Liberty, the empty stadium. It really sets the stage perfectly.
Yeah.
I wish the movie had more time. Maybe they could go back and do like an Elseworlds kind of thing where they tell stories from that world.
Elseworlds is DC. It would be a what if scenario.
Okay.
tell stories from like the world where half the people are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
The other thing
what does that world look like?
They do keep saying that Thanos wiped out like half of all life.
Yeah.
But all the trees are still there. He wiped out half of human life.
Well, we
the
don't
trees are
know
all
that.
still
There's
there.
lots of trees elsewhere.
I think the
Also,
trees are all still
trees
there.
when
Maybe the
they-
trees in the United States he didn't wipe out, but he wiped out all the trees in the rainforest.
Ooh, the boy, that'd be awful.
Right. it
Plus,
would
we're
be-
already doing that, so he's just finishing the job we began.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But I'm saying like you could get half of them snapped there. Is what I'm
The other
saying.
thing I find interesting is that Shuri is in the picture of people who are missing. Like there's that brief shot where you see
Oh, I
Peter
missed
Parker.
that. Yeah.
She's there right at the beginning, then she switches to Peter Parker. And so it's a question of, did she get dusted? Because the last we saw her in Infinity War, because I watched it right before going to see Captain Marvel, because I need to refresh my memory, was when Corvus Glaive sort of knocks her out of the lab, and we never see her again in Infinity War.
Yeah.
But if she got dusted and Black Panther got dusted, then Wakanda is seriously destabilized.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't she with Vision?
Yeah,
During
but she gets
Infinity
knocked.
War?
She gets knocked out when Glaive attacks the tower to
Oh,
get
okay,
Vision,
okay, I'm
and then
thinking of-
Vision knocks him out the window.
Yeah, okay. No,
But that's the last we see Shuri in the film, so we don't
Yeah.
actually see her get dusted. But she appears in the trailer as someone who is missing and unaccounted for.
yeah.
Guess I
But
could use Killmonger.
Which, if she's missing,
Kinda.
then my theory that she was going to bring Vision back kind of has a couple of problems with it.
Well, I had a great question for you about the Super Bowl trailer, about how it's clear that someone has been digitally removed from some of the scenes. But we know who that is now.
What?
It's Captain
Oh,
Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah. You've seen, there's always a spot for, another person to be standing in the scene.
No, I haven't watched the Super Bowl one that closely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was kind of pointed out fairly broadly.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, I didn't see that.
That clearly they had scrubbed somebody out, and there was this great mystery of, who is it? And I
Oh.
think Captain Marvel kind of
Yeah, well, it raises the question of, is the teaser that we saw at the end of Captain Marvel, is that the explanation for why Captain Marvel shows up and she's just going to be in Endgame? Or is that going to be like the Winter Soldier teaser we saw with Ant-Man, which was actually a scene from the film?
Right. Right, I see what you're saying. So, will she be there from the beginning of
That's
Endgame?
my question. Or yeah, exactly. And they'll be like, "Where's our house guest?" And it'll be Carol.
Yeah.
Or
I
is
guess
that an
isn't too
actual
bad.
scene from the movie?
Yeah.
Because
They're
it
gonna
was
call her the
directed.
house guest?
Because apparently it was directed by the Russos.
Yeah.
So they did the Avengers Endgame too. So it would be very easy for that to actually be a scene in the film.
Yeah.
But it also would be a way to not, and then just, Captain Marvel's there and we all just accept it.
Yeah.
Also, she's in one of the Lego sets. So that kind of spoiled that she was going to be
Well,
Well,
the Avengers compound.
I mean,
I
it
don't
would
think
be-
we needed the Lego set to know.
No, but
that.
she's in the
The
one.
MCU would have to be rock stupid if they.
No, but she's in
had
the
a
Avengers
Captain Marvel,
compound
then
one
she's
that
just not in
features
Endgame.
Thanos attacking. So Thanos apparently attacks the compound at some point. Also, Thanos only has 2 Infinity Gems in the set. So where did the other 4 go?
I feel like I don't even need to see the film at this point.
I know.
Wait, isn't there only 5 stones? Oh.
There's 6.
Oh.
We had this debate in the Marvel box
Yeah,
trivia, which I got right.
there's 6. You did get that one right.
That's right.
Was that the only one you got right?
I think I got 3 or 4 right that day. Thank you, sir.
I was so busy counting mine.
I'm
I
sorry.
can't
I
remember.
was so busy living my life through childhood.
Says the X-Men fan.
Yeah, but not like you're an Avengers fan, dude. Let's be honest. I don't know. Cap says this is the fight of our lives. It's kind of like, duh.
Don't know what they're going to do if this doesn't
Yeah,
work. Because the
yeah.
question is, what is their plan?
Yeah.
Because the prevailing theory is time travel.
Well, right, of course. But I've got a lot of prevailing theories I want to run.
Oh, that's
up
right. You got
against
your
You want
odds.
to hear some of them?
Sure, why not?
First, let's do odds. I know you love odds because
I
you
hate
don't
odds.
understand
I don't
odds.
understand them at all. Okay, so 1-to-1 is a given.
Yeah, it would be like
It's like
50 to 1 is very unlikely. 100
Okay.
to 1 is even more unlikely.
Okay.
A gazillion to 1.
so the
would be
bigger the
very
first number gets, the more unlikely it is.
It's
well,
basically
depending on what the second number is.
So 2-to-1 would be like 50-50.
But if it were,
Yeah.
I'm
But if it was two, if it's
it
I'm not
were-
doing anything beyond something to
if
1.
it were
'cause it's-
2 million to 1 million,
That doesn't
it
help
would be
me.
the equivalent of 2 to 1.
yeah, I'm doing 2 to. I'm
but
doing
it's
something
basically
to
the
1.
first number is how unlikely it is compared to how likely it is.
Would
Yeah.
you rather do percentages?
I'm not sure I'm going to be much better at that.
Like, what's the percentage chance that Iron Man survives? Let's just start with the core
Okay.
team. What are the odds or the percentage chance? Whatever you feel more comfortable with.
Let's do percentage chance.
Okay, the percentage chance. All right, so Rich, you should mark this down so that we can come back to Endgame.
Yeah.
Here, I'll do it in my notes and give them to you. How's that sound?
Okay.
All right, so Who is likely? Who is so? What percentage? Let's do percentage survival.
Okay.
So the percent that they survive the film.
Okay.
Iron Man.
I'm going to go 25.
So you think it's very likely he dies?
Yeah. Yeah.
You think Iron Man doesn't make it? Rich, do you want to present a number?
I'm going to say 50-50, only because I think he's definitely... I almost would say he's died, but I also think they might do a thing where he leaves being a superhero completely to be with Potts.
I have a feeling that
Just because he keep pushing the relationship
he or
more.
Cap need to go.
I've got a theory about Cap.
Yeah.
My hope for Cap is he ends up back in time.
That's my theory about Cap.
Well, that's not a very good theory if it's my hope. Can a
Well,
theory be a hope?
Yes.
No.
I don't think so.
Sure can.
All right, so Cap.
I'm going to say
percentage survival.
I'm going to say 50.
0%, he dies.
My theory is that he goes. Well,
Whoa, Rich is going full dead.
I think Cap
I
goes
think
back
he
in
does the
time.
heroic sacrifice thing with the gauntlet.
See, I think Tony's going to make the sacrifice with the gauntlet.
I think Thor's going to make the sacrifice with the.
Well,
I
that's
don't really.
stupid.
I think...
But here's why.
I think it's going to be Hawkeye.
I think it's going to be Rocket.
He's gonna put the gauntlet on an arrow. It's gonna be like one of those punchy arrows. The green arrows.
You mean it'll be the Infinity Arrow? So here's my theory about
It'll be
Cap.
Ant-Man.
Here's why I think Cap goes back in time.
Yeah.
Because if you watch the first Avengers and Winter Soldier and all the Cap movies, the one sort of main plot beat they have for Cap's character is that he doesn't really feel like he fits in.
Right.
He has made no progress on that.
Right.
And so the idea he remains the man out of time.
Right. He's an anachronism.
And so logically, like if they were going to keep him in the present, I feel like we would have done something to actually anchor him to the present more than we've had.
I feel like Cap is done for the present. Like he's either
Yes.
dead
Or back in time.
Yeah, and I don't like happy endings in general in movies, but
Yeah.
Cap of all people deserves a chance to go back,
And
which
be
is
with
going to
Peggy.
totally reboot the MCU
Yes.
universe, right? Because now you have a Cap working in the like a commie smasher Cap. From like the 50s or
Yeah.
whatever, but he gets to be with Peggy.
Yeah.
And there's kind of a happy ending.
Yes, and then we
So-
get Baby Cap in the present.
I really
they have a
hate,
kid.
I really hate baby
Young Cap.
anything. Yeah.
Love young Cap.
Yeah. All right, Thor.
Mm,
He's got to be 100% survival, right?
Yeah, I feel like Thor
Yeah.
survives.
Do you both say 100%?
I'd say at best he'll get maybe really injured.
You mean like have his eye taken out?
What's the percentage, Rich? Survival percentage.
Survival 100% also.
Patrick?
Yeah, I'm going to go 100% on Thor.
All right. What about Hulk?
I'm going to go 100% on Hulk. I think Hulk survives.
I'm going to say 50 in that he might be the one to do the...
Wait, when you say Hulk, are we talking about Hulk separate from Banner or them together?
It's too late. You answered the question.
Okay.
Black Widow.
Oh, I think she survives.
Yeah, 100%.
I think she's 100%.
There's no way they kill off their besides Captain Marvel, their most significant female character.
Hawkeye/Ronin.
Okay, see, here's where I'm troubled.
Yes.
Because,
You think he's going to survive?
No.
'Cause that would trouble me.
well, no, the issue is that... Okay, that's just mean. My concern
That's what
is
happens
that
to leaders
it's pretty
of
clear
men.
from the trailer that he becomes Ronin
Yes.
because the family is dusted. We see him killing a whole bunch
Why
of
didn't
dudes.
he just get out of house arrest? He could have saved his family.
No, he
I don't
didn't.
understand why people would all they would do is get the stones back. The stones don't disappear, so they can get their families back basically whenever.
Unsnapping.
Well, they have to get the stones from Thanos.
Right, which is difficult, sure, but everyone's acting
Or they go back in time to get the stones before Thanos has them.
Yeah.
Which is what I think is.
Survival for Hawkeye.
My problem with Hawkeye is that it looks like he's going on like a fairly anger-fueled
It's not
killing
your only
spree.
problem for Hawkeye, right? There's a lot of problems.
No.
But go
Not
on.
for me. And so my question is, when they undo what Thanos does, and Hawkeye gets his family back,
Yeah.
can he go back to them having become what he was as Ronin?
Yeah, people redeem themselves.
But if they
from
go
worse
back in
stuff.
time and it never happens,
I
then
don't
he's
know.
never
Yeah, so-
dirty Hawkeye.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
So
gonna go,
I say 100%.
survival percentage. Rich says 100% he survives.
I'm going
I
to say
think just
75 because maybe he survives, but not quite as the same person he was.
So really the point of differences here are Iron Man. Patrick thinks it's more likely Iron Man goes.
Yeah.
Rich thinks it's more likely that Cap goes, and then there's a slight disagreement on the Hulk and the. It didn't turn out to be as interesting as I thought.
So what about Ant-Man?
How about I was going to say the newer heroes? Do any of them go? I don't feel like Ant-Man's going to die.
I'm going to go 100%.
Yes.
Spider-Man lives. Oh, also Nick Fury.
You are the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think any of the new ones.
Write
go
it
because that's the
down.
whole
I
point.
called it first. I get those points. I called it. Called it.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the plot device that brings the Dusted back?
Well, they obviously
They just unsnap, I think.
they unsnap,
Is
or
it time travel to get the gauntlet though?
No.
Or
well, what happens is this is what I had a theory.
I think Cap or someone else gets a gauntlet as it is now, damaged.
Yeah.
They do
I
the
think-
unsnap and it kills the person.
I
that's
think what they
snapping.
do is they
That
possibly
seems
go back
reasonable
in
to me.
time and get enough of the stones. Not all of them, but they get enough that
No.
it undoes what Thanos did.
I've got a different idea.
And that's why Thanos attacks them, because he realizes his stones are disappearing
What if?
when he's only got 2 left.
What if they replaced the Infinity Stones with counterfeit stones?
I'm kind of wondering if that's what Doctor Strange did somehow with the time gem.
But how could he? Because the snap comes after that, and
It does, but maybe
and it
that's what
ends half of our
allows him to
life.
undo what will allow them to undo what Thanos
But would
did.
Thanos have the power to do it if he didn't have all the stones? Doesn't he need all the stones to
Yeah.
get rid of half of life? on Earth?
Gamora says that, but I mean, is she an expert on the Infinity Stones?
I guess
More than
apparently
anyone
not
else
as
in the
much as
movie.
you are.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
here
let's-
comes the mansplaining.
Yeah, there's-
well, hey, Gamora, let me tell you
Let
something
me tell
about
you, fictional character in a universe I don't exist in, how your universe works.
Whose rules I don't fully
Listen,
understand
who
yet.
knows the rules of the MCU better, Gamora or me?
That is uber man explaining, right? That is impressive.
Of course, there's my other theory:
Yes.
Infinity Cat.
That's not a theory. That's a stupid idea.
Infinity Cat.
I would say maybe
Infinity Cat.
Flurkin.
I like Infinity Cat.
All right. So you ready to hear some fan theories?
Oh yeah.
I run them by you.
Yes.
You generally trash them. We move on to the next one.
Okay.
Sounds
It
good.
feels like that's how the segment goes. The first one I have is actually posted on Reddit
Okay.
about Hawkeye.
I had a feeling.
A new theory suggests that the reason behind Hawkeye's expression and the red light illuminating his face.
Oh, is that he's going after the ether in Thor: Dark World?
No, that's not the theory.
That's the theory I read.
Do you want to just keep jumping?
No, go ahead.
All right, can I finish?
Sure.
A sentence?
Go ahead.
One thought. Can I have one sentence that I start here and end?
Anyway, so
Exactly.
I was letting you have that
So
one.
here's a theory. Suggests that the reason behind Hawkeye's expression, or Ronan's expression, in the red light illuminating his face is the ether from Thor. No, I'm kidding. Is none other than Ultron, the main villain and titular character of the second
No.
Avengers movie.
I don't know why you feel like you need to explain to me that he's the titular
I'm
character
just
of the second
reading the
Avengers
theory.
is that the whole theory?
That's the whole theory. Is it
No.
Ultron? So the theory is essentially Ultron's back.
Yeah, I'm going to say no on that one.
He's got no strings to hold him down.
Yeah, but...
I think they learned a lesson that it was not a good idea.
Yeah,
I don't think they brought him back in this theory, but that Ultron is somehow back.
or that they time traveled to Age of Ultron to get one of the stones that's in Age of Ultron. The Mind Stone and the Space Stone are in there.
Both possible.
Is it Space Stone? No, Space.
So it sounds like you're talking yourself into this theory being true.
Nah, I'm
'Cause you
still
love
not,
the time
I don't
travel?
think. I don't think they're bringing Ultron back.
All right. So for
How
no
are they-
reason, you've trashed this.
How
Yeah.
are they time traveling in these theories of yours?
I don't know. Oh, the quantum vortex in the quantum realm via Ant-Man.
So you can travel through time through the quantum realm?
In the teaser, in the post-credit scenes, I think it's the Janet Van Dyne character says something to Ant-Man about don't get caught in a quantum vortex because you'd be sucked into time or something.
Oh, there you go.
So that's one of the theories of because also if you notice in the Endgame trailer, he shows up with the van that has all of that equipment. So one of the theories is that him and that technology in combination with Captain Marvel is going to allow them to time travel back to get stones or to change something.
Got it. All right, you want to hear another one?
Yes.
There's another theory that says the Avengers will have to work with Kronos
Kronos.
on reversing time to undo the snap, and in return, Kronos will break out of his quantum realm prison, hungry for revenge on the people that put him there, whoever that may be.
Yeah, I was just saying, who the heck? What? There's no.
It's just a theory.
There's no
why are
Kronos
you
in the
angry at
MCU.
me?
I don't think. Again, I don't think.
Kronos
they
with a
bring in-
K.
Yeah, there's no Kronos in the
Would you check
MCU. He exists
Kronos
in the
with a K?
he exists in the
It's a K.
comics, but there's no Kronos. They haven't introduced Kronos in the. Yeah, I don't see that one.
Well, why couldn't they introduce Kronos?
Again, they're already introducing Captain Marvel as like the most powerful hero in the universe, and I'm like, yeah, you're already bringing in a lot of Deus Ex Machinas already. We don't need Kronos.
So he's too Deus for you.
Yeah, that's
Or
a little
Ex
too
Machina.
like, yeah, it's a little too Ex Machina.
I agree
for
that
me.
they're not going to bring another character like that.
All right. Oh, this one you're going to agree with, I think. The fact that the Big Green appears to be more Banner-esque in appearance has led to predictions of Professor Hulk. Will we see Professor Hulk in the film? You've not. I thought this is one you would have wrestled
Yeah,
with
no, I
for
haven't
quite
seen
some
them. Yeah,
time.
no, I haven't. I haven't.
Right, the harmonious blend of personalities.
That would be. I think that's got a decent shot. Yeah,
Yeah, especially with
So
how
that
they
one
did
might
him in
actually-
Thor.
I could see that happening. Yeah,
I'm gonna
that might
give-
have a shot.
I'm going to give that a maybe.
Yeah.
I would love to see the more intelligent Hulk.
It would be interesting. Well, because at the end of Endgame, he does say when he's trying to convince Hulk that they do have to come to an understanding, or that maybe they do manage to,
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the stuff with like Thor and
do
whatnot,
some
where
yoga
he's
or
going back
something
forth.
and bond.
Yoga would be your solution to bonding with the Hulk.
Yes,
All right.
actually, it's Hulka.
It's not actually.
I don't know. Can you just add an to the end of
No, I added a G. Hulka.
Hulk?
Hulka.
You kind of swallowed it, as people do in northeastern Pennsylvania.
Kind of like
Hulk.
Infinity Cat's going to do with the gems.
Next theory.
I feel like Infinity
Screen Rant believes that the X-Men could be introduced into Endgame through the
Yeah.
power of the Infinity Stones by bringing together realities and releasing the powers of mutants around the world.
I feel more than likely that
Mutant
whenever.
powers released.
Yeah, I feel. Just flip me off.
No, never do that. What are you doing?
Yeah, you absolutely.
What
do.
are you talking? Would you just answer the question?
I feel it's more likely that if they do time travel, whatever sort of happens to cause them to reboot the MCU,
Indeed.
introduces the X-Men in,
Yeah.
So-
possibly in a post-credit scene.
So
in
you
the
feel
end.
like the Infinity Stones could be used then?
yeah,
Potentially
I
to-
feel like in some ways that would be a way to end Endgame, or to have it be the post-credits trailer would be to have recognizable X-Men show up.
And you've long argued that what they need to do is move away from the established characters a bit.
Of Avengers,
Or
yeah,
the
they can't
Avengers
they can't
characters.
immediately reboot Iron Man. Like the characters
Right,
are
but-
too synonymous.
But
with
Black Panther, Captain Marvel,
those guys are fine
Spider-Man are well set to kind of carry it
to
forward.
carry on. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I think, but I feel like they need
So
they need to get some breathing room between these original versions of the Avengers and whoever replaces them down the road.
agreed.
And
So
X-Men and Fantastic Four would be a way to do that.
even though you hate Fantastic Four,
I do.
okay. Which actually, what you said a moment ago leads us to the next one. That theory, Wolverine is in a post-credit scene. You said the X-Men. This one is
Yeah.
specific. I'd be kind of disappointed if it were Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like
of all
I'd
the
rather it be
options
a
you
more
have-
interesting X-Men
Yeah.
or a less
Stacy
overused-
X.
I was thinking more Marrow.
Marrow.
Yeah,
Oh, who is the slug guy?
Maggot.
Maggot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Get some Maggot.
Man, there are a lot of really bad mutants.
Multiple Man.
Multiple Man would actually be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, X-Force
Strong guy.
kind of reclaimed him as a interesting guy.
Yeah. Strong guy.
Feral.
Oh God.
Really dig into the X-Force.
Yeah. Oh God. The forearm. Let's introduce Forearm.
He might be worse than Marrow, actually.
He's number one. He's a villain.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, he's a Liefeld creation, so of course he sucks.
Yeah.
Liefeld had two good ideas. They're called Cable and Deadpool,
Yeah.
and maybe Domino.
Domino would be okay. So, next theory. Scott Lang,
Yes.
a.k.a. Ant-Man,
Yes, I'm familiar with who Scott Lang is.
is the wild card in breaking the loop. Since he went into the quantum realm, he may escape the time loop. Perhaps by going into the time vortex, mentioned in Ant-Man 2. This would explain why time vortices are so wittily mentioned in the movie. Everything we see in Civil War and Ant-Man movies is part of the time loop. But going through a time vortex while stuck in the quantum realm allows Ant-Man to escape the time loop.
Okay, number
I
one.
feel like as I read that, it was in a time loop itself.
Yeah.
Okay, number one, I want that to happen because that means we have to talk time travel on this show,
Oh,
and you're gonna have to talk about that because you hate that.
You do understand that my great fear of Endgame is I don't
time
see
travel?
how they fix it.
No.
Without Doctor Strange.
No, I don't-
Or Ant-Man, or Captain Marvel, or some combination thereof. engaging in time travel.
No, my yeah, and
That's
my
why I don't want that to be
and
any
my
time
concern
travel.
about
Just
Endgame is
Oh,
understand.
me
that
too. I agree.
I don't understand. I don't see any way for Endgame not to feel kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Because it has to undo. Like, we know it's going to undo everything.
But it's not. I think the where they're going to get their climax is their long-lived, beloved characters will die.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that
it'll
will,
be
and that
after
will,
the undoing.
right. That will provide, or it'll be part of the undoing.
Yeah.
That will
Yeah.
provide the climax that,
Somewhat, yeah.
that makes it feel.
But
Like,
yeah, no,
because you're right. They all have to come back.
Yeah.
Like, you can't kill
You know
half
they're-
of the planet.
You know they're coming back.
Yeah,
They're coming back,
Spider-Man
but-
was dusted, so they all have to come back.
But the drama still revolves around where we started with the odds, which is who's going to make it and who's
Yeah.
not going to make it. And
Yeah.
that, I think, is going to be the climax. And you will come to the studio and you will weep. That's my prediction. You will cry
Why am I weeping?
because people died.
Because Hawkeye died.
Oh, no, that's one of the reasons I will be weeping.
Why else are you going to be weeping?
Well, because this feels like kind of the end of the MCU that I have known and loved.
It's called Endgame.
And
Yeah.
with Arrow leaving, like your entire
And Gotham ending.
superhero peak. Well, let's not get carried away.
That'd be tears of
By the
joy.
way, we are going to do a Gotham quiz.
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh God, yes.
Because Rich and I are tied 1-1.
We've got some I've got some quality stuff. There's like 3 more episodes left,
Okay, all right, and then we will do one.
and then we will. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
All right, here's another theory. Captain Marvel can use her cosmic awareness to restore a reality, or to restore reality to a point before Thanos got control.
Well, they haven't established that she has cosmic awareness.
This would mean that all the Avengers who were killed can come back, join together, defeat Thanos.
Yeah. They haven't established cosmic. Again, that would be like another thing that they're introducing in that film to fix. Like that's my concern. My main concern is that the whatever mechanism they use.
It needs to
fix
pre-exist.
It needs, yeah. It cannot
Okay.
be some. You know, they're already introducing Captain Marvel as someone that can go toe to toe to Thanos.
Okay, I just don't understand why you're yelling at me. I'm just reading cockamamie.
I don't know. Why am I yelling at you?
What are you pointing at?
Fan
What's
theories
above you?
off the internet. I don't understand how this is my fault. I'm just reading
You
what I
brought them
found,
to
sir.
me. You brought them to me.
Gamora will be rescued from the Soul Stone.
Oh yeah, that's 100%.
That feels like 100%.
Are we
to me.
doing odds or we're just talking?
We're
fan
just
theories?
talking.
Okay.
Loki returns.
Yeah.
They're apparently doing a show on the Disney
Right.
thing. So
There's some speculation he might even be manipulating Thanos into collecting all of the Infinity Stones so he can steal the gauntlet
Well,
for
what-
himself and wield its power. Wait, whether the theory proves right or wrong, we're still fairly sure the trickster guy will be showing up in Avengers 4 one way or another.
because one of the things I will point
I think
out
he'll
is
show
that
up. I don't think he's gonna
in
manipulate him.
Infinity War,
Yes.
prior to him getting killed, he steps out. He's off screen and steps out of the shadows.
We've had this conversation
yeah,
before.
and so like they wanted to bring him back. Like they've already very
could
easily
he
said.
really fool Thanos like that?
No, well,
I mean,
also,
Thanos is not superpowered. at
Yeah,
that
but
point,
Thanos
he's
only
still-
had 2 gems at that
Yeah,
point.
but still,
And none of them was reality, so he
it
wouldn't
would
have
be,
had control
it would
over
be
reality.
disappointing to me if, in a way, it just.
Yeah,
seems
but that
too-
I mean, Thanos' undoing in the comics is always kind of his arrogance.
Well, okay.
So I could
also,
see that.
it's
But
also
just
a
the
question
Loki
of does
trick
he
too often
care?
is
Yeah.
what would disappoint me.
Does Thanos like? It's not even so much if he was tricked. It's like, does he really care if Loki's alive or not?
The arrogance, I get it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so that if they want to bring Loki back, I feel like they definitely created a window for it.
Right.
But they also don't have to. But I feel
Because
like
it could be the Loki series could be like pre-dead.
yeah, I don't know when the Loki series is set.
All right.
They're also apparently doing a Scarlet Witch and Vision series. So
How about the snap sends the dead to a parallel universe? That they're not actually dusted dead.
well, they might all be in the Soul Gem.
That the MCU has touched on alternative universes already, right? In Doctor Strange and Ant-Man, there's the quantum realm. So Reddit user Account for Nerd Stuff theorizes that Ant-Man and the Wasp will discover doorways to alternate universes in the quantum realm, which and lead the remaining Avengers to a universe where either Loki's attack on New York hasn't happened or is happening, allowing them to grab the stones.
That's
They
an
can use
interesting
their
idea.
knowledge to
So
find
it's not
the
so
other
much time
Infinity
travel
Stones.
as dimensional travel.
Yes.
So then would
But-
there be duplicate stones?
But that would be
But
very
don't try to cover it. It's still time travel.
that would be
They're
very
still
in
going back
keeping
in
with
time.
well, that would be very in keeping with the Grunwald theory of how time travel works in the Marvel universe.
I don't know the Grunwald theory.
Well, Mark Grunwald, the editor.
I know who he is. I don't
so
know his theory.
His theory prior to I think Bendis was the governing theory at Marvel, which is that anytime you time travel, you do not change your past. You create an alternate universe
Right.
with a different past.
Which actually is the more scientific one of the multiverse theory.
Yeah. So that would be, I could see that making sense, because that would be a way for them to go get.
But
Now they have established in the Marvel comic universe that the Infinity Gems of a certain universe only work in that universe.
Interesting.
So it would be if they're keeping consistent with that rule, bringing them from another universe would not work.
Well, he's
so they
bringing
have
them
to abandon the old universe.
But
Well,
that
what
would be
this-
a way. That would be a
what
way
this
for them to
theory-
go get Infinity Gems without tearing apart their own continuity.
But what this says, right? We'll discover doorways to alternate universes and lead them just to a universe, not the original universe.
Not the original. So yeah, so they
Interesting.
wouldn't
Yeah.
be messing with their original universe. They would go to
Yeah.
other universes, get those universes' Infinity Gems, and bring them into our
Well,
universe.
what if they didn't do that? What if they kept the Infinity Stones in the other universe and snapped the half of the people that got left behind in the crappy Thanos universe into this universe?
Because then there would be duplicate people.
No, because our people are dusted.
Because the half of the
You're talking about them taking the half of the people
Yeah,
that were
like
dusted
snap
from an
them over to a
alternate
happier
universe,
place.
but then
Yeah,
they
but
just
those
wiped out
people
half.
exist
How
already.
was our world happier?
It just feels like it's happier.
Do you know that? You've not been to these other
So you want to
worlds.
live in the Thanos world?
No, but I'm not saying
My
that
money
that-
is on almost
But you
any
just-
world being better than Thanos.
but you just
world.
make
Oh,
duplicates
have you
of all
not
the
read
people.
What If?
No, I'd replace the originals with the originals.
So you'd kill half.
No, I'd replace. There's a difference.
Really?
No.
All right,
Also,
next
that
theory.
also
Who would have
presumes that
predicted
they-
the Quaker vegan pacifist as Dr. Doom?
Yeah. Also,
Shuri brings the
they-
Vision back. Oh, sorry.
No, I was saying. Also,
Assuming
now
Shuri
they've
is alive,
abandoned
that
the
is-
old
that-
universe to its doom.
That
And
is
now
one
it
of my
doesn't have
theories.
the rest of the Avengers or whatever because they've all left.
There's
that
nobody
universe.
living there now, so it's okay.
Except that half of the world that wasn't.
If the Vision is
Put
coming
them back
back,
in Thanos'
if
universe.
Vision is coming back, it's going to be via Shuri.
Okay.
That she, because it does
Yeah.
show that it looks like she kind of saves her work
Yeah.
before getting attacked in Infinity War. So maybe she
She's
did
got to
enough
have
to
autosave
bring,
on.
What about?
or maybe not. Maybe a
That'd be
Vision.
great if she didn't. Like
Maybe-
no, for the rest of the world for autosave.
Maybe a Vision that does not have all of his emotional connections, like it's a partial Vision.
Okay. Dead Avengers are in the Soul Stone. You already mentioned that one. That seems like a possibility.
It's a
to you?
possibility. I mean, but we only see Gamora in there after the snap. So
Yeah.
No. Then the next
And-
two are, Iron Man or Cap will sacrifice themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that we've covered.
Yeah. Yes. One of them.
Thor rebuilds Asgard to rule as king.
I feel like that might be where he goes off. What he goes off. He's got to go find the other Asgardians.
It seems like he should.
So I feel
Yeah.
like that might be kind of where he goes next.
That might be like a post-credit scene of some sort.
Yeah, or at the sort of denouement at the end,
I hope there's not a denouement.
where everybody goes off and kind of establishes where they are.
Yeah. I hate that films end like that.
So.
That's all the theories I got for you.
Oh, okay.
We have a couple of minutes. Should we mentioned Dark Phoenix briefly?
Yeah.
And we've mentioned Spider-Man. You want to talk about Dark Phoenix for a minute?
I suppose we can.
Unless you've got more on the Avengers.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. I love the X-Men,
Oh, you do?
but I just wonder if you can pull off the Dark Phoenix, especially in one movie. Like, the Dark Phoenix is a story better told, sort of developing over the course of several movies.
Listen.
Yes.
I have absolute faith.
Yeah.
Because what you do, because basically this movie is trying to redo X-Men Last Stand. So, of course, what you do
Ugh.
is you have the writer of Dark Phoenix be the co-writer of Last Stand.
So I understand what you're saying there, that you don't have high hopes.
I do not have high hopes for this film. Because, I mean, even from the trailers, I'm like, this feels like Last Stand with just the Cure stuff taken out.
Yeah.
Which the writer has done interviews basically saying, is like, yeah, that's what was wrong with Last Stand. I'm like, oh, okay, so we're redoing Last Stand, just taking out
I think
Cure
of the
story.
Dark Phoenix story as a very, like, as it was presented in the comics. Like,
Yes.
it developed very slowly.
Oh, God, like
Over time.
What? She debuts in like 107 and
Yeah.
it's 137. So almost, and they were bi-monthly at a time. So that's like almost 3-4 years.
Yeah, like it's told over
It's a
years.
long.
That allows like the mastermind storyline to kind of like seduce her to the dark side.
Yeah.
like it just there's complexity in it that I just feel like if it's just her going up in space and getting inundated by the Phoenix Force.
Well, she's got the Phoenix Force in her because we saw that at the end of
Oh,
Apocalypse.
that's right. But whatever
So
happens
whatever
in
happens in space like awakens it, I guess.
amplifies it or like whatever's
Yeah.
going on there. I don't know, but it just feels like you're packing a lot into a movie.
Yeah.
Maybe it could work, but like the movie has to be about Jean then. Mm-hmm. Like it can't be about. But how do you have Magneto? Fassbender as Magneto. and McAvoy as
Oh, are you
Professor
concerned it's going to be
X.
another Xavier Magneto movie?
Yeah, and not give them so much screen time.
My hope is that
it
they
detracts
realize they
from
put a
Phoenix.
nice pin on their relationship at the end of Apocalypse, and they can just kind of be there.
Right.
Particularly Fassbender. Like, it's clear Xavier is going to have a big storyline, because I'm assuming you know
He probably should, right?
the one thing that they have confirmed about the film that seemed to be spoiled by the last trailer.
Which is,
Oh, Mystique dies.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the writer came out and said, yes, we do kill her.
Right.
Like, well, thank you for telling
the-
us that.
Yes, it's a shame the movie has not come out
I know.
yet.
It's like, I mean,
No,
it's
he
just-
said, but they also defended it by saying, we want people to know that this is a different X-Men movie.
Really? Because I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they killed off Cyclops in Last Stand.
But my point being, yeah, like it's probably revealing too much to try to make the point that it's a different movie seems to have backfired pretty
Yeah.
badly.
No, well, I look at that trailer and I'm like, okay, so it looks like Xavier did something with Jean's mind.
Yep.
Like in Last Stand.
Put some kind of a power damp.
It looks
on
like
it.
the Phoenix is another side of Jean's personality as opposed to an alien cosmic bird energy.
Yeah.
Just like in Last Stand.
Yeah.
It looks like they're having a big fight in a suburban neighborhood, just like Last Stand, between the two X-Men enemy team. Like, it just seems like Last Stand again.
I remember how excited I was when X-Men 3 came out.
Yeah.
Because the Dark Phoenix storyline is one of my all-time favorite
It's
comic book storylines. It's a classic.
It is.
In the field. In some ways, it's damned the X-Men ever since to kind of just repeat it in a way that probably has hindered the creativity and allowed the Avengers to get ahead.
Yeah.
In some ways. But
Yeah.
I just remember then going to the movie and being so disappointed.
Yeah. I mean,
in
I
it.
thought Last Stand, for me, it worked as the third movie in the trilogy.
Yeah.
It did not work as a movie on its own.
Yeah, I don't think it worked. It just didn't work.
Yeah, like I don't, yeah.
I worry about that. You know, do you care that Mystique is killed?
No.
Yeah, that's not good, right? Because if they're going to kill her, you should feel it in some way.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels, I mean, basically ever since I saw the trailer where it pretty much telegraphed that Mystique was dead, I was like, yeah, you know, Jennifer Lawrence seems kind of done with this role, so.
Indeed, yeah.
You know, it feels.
You could kind of see it coming. in
Yeah,
the
like
real
it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and it doesn't, and thus doesn't have the punch that say.
Yeah, well, and now it's not going to have any punch because it's like, okay, so.
Yeah, I get. Why would you spoil that? Like,
That's
I
what
don't know anything
that
about
boggled my mind.
movie making and trailer making, but to spoil
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Well, because I
Seems
literally,
like
cause
just
like
a
I watched the most recent, when
disastrous
prepping for the show, like I watched the most recent trailer. I was like, okay, it seems like it's pretty clear that Mystique dies.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, let me look and see what people are saying about that. And the first hit is the director that's like, oh, yeah, no, she's dead.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. So we're apparently just spoiling our own movies.
Right, even letting it open to debate among fans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, is that Mystique's grave? Like, did she really die? Maybe it's somebody else.
I mean, well, the only other
that
person
creates a conversation
I mean,
about the movie.
But the only person it could be, because Jean does say, why did you make me do that to her?
Yeah,
It's got to be Mystique or Storm.
right. But you could cut it in a way that gets, you know, it could be Moira.
Yeah. But Moira's death would not create the rift between Beast and Charles that Mystique's would.
Well, I don't know if that's true or not, but maybe.
Not to the point of Beast joining Magneto's side.
Yeah,
Apparently
maybe.
Storm and Nightcrawler also go on Magneto's side too.
Yeah, I have no idea how the film breaks down, but Charles does seem very solitary.
Yeah, well he's got Cyclops with him.
Yeah, which is like having
Quicksilver, I guess, is probably with him.
Yeah. I don't feel good for Quicksilver as he races up the debris
Yeah.
towards the Dark Phoenix. It just
I'm sure
feels
that's
like,
going to go fine for him.
feels like
I feel like that's going to work out well.
And he
you
was
may not be as quick as you think you are.
Yeah.
He's really the only character I like in these movies. You know, he's always fun to watch.
I will say that in these movies,
They always have like your Quicksilver running fast scene.
yeah, right. Although, yeah, this one's going to end very differently.
I feel like they're going to
it's going to
start
lack
it.
some of the joy of the kitchen scene.
Yeah,
perhaps.
I feel like what's going to happen is like it's going to start. It's going to be like 2 seconds long because he like breaks his legs.
yeah. if that's all that happens to him,
That is what
So
I would
it
do.
would be funny if like he's fine,
I would make it
like, you
seem
just
like
can
it's-
knock him out. Like, I don't know why you guys just don't let me do it every time.
yeah. Well, it's like the Flash.
Yeah.
Like he shows up on television, but he always stops right in front of the villain to talk to him. When all he has to do is run up and punch him and be done before he even knows the Flash. is
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the world's greatest sucker punch.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out who Jessica Chastain's character is.
Yeah, it's not clear.
Kinberg said that it's a mashup of several characters. I think it's going to be a mastermind Emma Frost Lilandra.
Does not throw me.
Because he does say that she is an alien of some
Right.
kind. So I think she's going to
It
be
just-
Lilandra, Emma Frost, mastermind.
It doesn't throw me. Like bring Lilandra
I know, bring the Shi'ar.
and let she and Professor X develop a relationship.
Okay, I mean, it's
Travel
been
through
the
space.
problem.
I want my space opera.
It's been the problem.
I want my space
I think I
opera.
literally have that written here in my notes.
Yeah.
Because I mean it is the problem with the Fox version of the X-Men, which has always been kind of grounded in a realism.
Yeah.
That made sense in the early going, but by now we're well past the point where you have to have a much more realistic take on the heroes.
Universes are audiences are ready for these
We are
really
ready.
expansive universes, and
After
they
Guardians, Ragnarok, and Infinity War,
Right.
Dark Phoenix Saga is the next big thing to do,
Right,
the
but
classic big thing.
to do the story.
Yeah.
And I would Zack Snyder it like he did Watchmen. Like
Ooh.
I would pattern it very much after the comic book.
Oh, okay.
Like I would try to be.
That's
true
not a
to
Zack
the
Snyder
canon.
thing.
Actually, in Watchmen,
Oh, Watchmen is very true to the
he
plot
does
of
change
Watchmen.
certain things,
Yeah.
but
It's
not just
very-
the plot, but like the framing
Yeah.
and the shots are very true to the original. I think that Kindberg is too artistic in this case. The story's there. It doesn't need a lot of flu added to it.
Yeah.
It just
Well,
needs to be told properly.
Actually, I'd say that it's not that they're adding flu to it. They're
Yeah.
taking away the flu because they're like,
Well,
yeah, we're gonna. Basically,
by-
Kinberg
by-
is basically rewriting Last Stand with here's how I would have done Last Stand.
Right, but with the Chastain character,
Yeah.
which is flu.
Yeah.
Make
But
it
not as
Lilandra.
not as flu as I want.
There should be a Hellfire Club.
Yes.
And there should be a Mastermind.
Yes.
And there should be a Lilandra.
Yes.
And there should be a Gladiator.
Yes. And you know who else is in
All
there?
of these people should be in this film.
The Kree
Well,
and the
they're
Skrull are
not.
in there too, and so is the Tentacle Supreme Intelligence.
There you go.
Maybe that's how I get my Supreme Intelligence. Probably not.
Do you think?
Probably-
Based on the trailer you've
Yeah,
seen.
based on the trailer.
Imagine if Endgame brings in their own X-Men, and the first thing they do is the Dark Phoenix. So
It's also one of the things that makes me feel
Don't
like
they
one
need
of
to
the
be on
reasons.
the dark side of the moon?
One of the reasons
be there.
Kinberg has spoiled the whole Mystique death is that they're like, yeah, no, nobody cares about this film because they know Marvel's taking over.
Yeah. In some ways, you do feel sad for the franchise in a way because
Yeah.
it's clear that it is even we're sitting here saying, just what's Marvel going to do with
Yeah.
it?
yeah,
You know?
nobody cares what
Yeah.
they're doing because it's
Yeah.
Marvel's going to beat it.
God knows I'll go see it,
Oh, of course I'm going to see it.
but I don't have the highest hopes for this. one.
I'm very mixed on it. Yeah.
How about Spider-Man: Far From Home? Better, worse?
Then Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
I'm feeling better about it.
Yeah.
I do have some concerns about this film though.
Okay. Is it Happy flirting with Aunt May?
No.
Okay.
No, my concern is that, well, we talked about this. My problem with Homecoming was that it felt a little bit hijacked by Tony Stark,
Yes.
and my fear is that this one's going to be hijacked by Nick Fury, and we're not going to get a Spider-Man film yet again.
Though that was also the concern for Captain Marvel is that people worried that it would be too much Nick Fury.
Yeah, which they managed that well, but I feel, well, number one, it's not a movie that's set like in the traditional Spider-Man setting, like he's in Europe.
That's a
Like,
weird choice.
They seem to be,
isn't it?
it
Like,
seemed to be
why?
taking him away from,
Yeah.
now maybe it's because they've done that for so many of the other
Right,
Spider-Man.
they're friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Maybe they're just looking for a global market and they
Yeah.
want to shoot it in London.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit concerned that the storyline seems very outside of the traditional Spider-Man storyline.
Yeah.
And I'm just worried, assuming the trailer is right, so he doesn't bring his suit with him.
Yeah.
We see him in a couple different suits. So is he getting suits from Nick Fury now?
I mean, that's the assumption. Who else would?
Which
give
I'm
it
like,
to him?
I'm concerned about the way in which it kind of continues.
I agree. My hope is that Nick Fury shows up
Yeah.
and gives him a mission and then moves on.
Yeah.
And then maybe checks in once in a while or something.
Yeah.
Because too much Nick Fury will not make for a good film.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man needs to, frankly, more interesting standing on his own
Yes. Yes.
than he is sort of being supported by a team of high-tech,
Right.
multi.
Well, and it takes away from the genius of Peter Parker, which they established in Civil War that he invented the webbing.
Yeah.
But we haven't really seen, Peter's inventiveness. Now, I will say...
It would be great to see him take an old Stark suit and do something with it and,
Yes.
make it his own.
I will say... I can't believe they pulled off Mysterio.
That my
it's
final
really
note is
a
just
classic
literally
version of Mysterio.
It's just literally yes.
Like when he shows up
Yeah.
without the helmet, I'm like, okay, it's the and then they show him with the dome,
with the,
and I'm like,
with the fishbowl
thank
on his
you.
head.
That's all I need.
Like floating around. It's,
yeah, I need a fishbowl Mysterio, and you've got me.
Who's the actor with that? Is that
Jake Gyllenhaal.
That is Jake. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty big get.
It's a pretty big get, but I got to say,
See,
the moment he shows up at the end, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Pretty much everything's forgiven.
Spider-Man's gallery of villains is not really necessarily my favorite.
Yeah,
That
like-
actually leads into a question because it's
When
like,
I was a
mean,
kid, the Rhino never really appealed to me. But if you think about it, they cast Keaton as the Vulture, and now Gyllenhaal as Mysterio.
Oh, but even
And
going
quite
back,
frankly, like,
they had
that's
Willem
good.
Dafoe as Green Goblin.
Yeah.
And they had Alfred Molina as Doc Ock, which nailed it.
I like Molina's Doc Ock. The Green Goblin still hasn't worked for me quite on the
Yeah,
well, it
Dafoe's,
didn't work because they had
like,
they haven't. Yeah.
Defoe did some good work there.
Well, what always bothered me is I'm like, you've got Dafoe who literally looks like a goblin.
Yeah.
And you put him in a mask that obscures his face. Like, just put some makeup on that dude. Like, he is the goblin.
Overdone. So, but to me, I'd like to see like a Sinister Six kind of
Yeah.
film.
Well,
at
that
this
leads
point
to one of
with
my questions,
these
which is
guys.
that in all of the Spider-Man films, we've had Green Goblins,
Yep.
Doc Ock, Sandman, Electro,
Venom.
Venom, Lizard, Vulture, and Mysterio.
Yeah.
So who's left of the classic villains?
Of Spider-Man?
Mm-hmm. I've got a couple.
Well, Kingpin shows up in Spider-Man stories.
He does,
Would you
but he's
count
more of a
Kingpin?
Daredevil villain
Well,
for
we
me.
had
It's true, but
Kingpin
if they're
in
not going to
Spider-Verse.
do Daredevil on the big screen,
Yeah.
Kingpin would make a lot of sense to me.
Except we
had
just had him
Kingpin in
into the
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
What about Black Cat?
I'm thinking Kraven the Hunter.
Wait, wasn't there a Kraven in one of them?
No, we haven't had Kraven.
Was Kraven referenced in one of
I
them?
don't think so.
There was who was?
Oh, I think maybe in one of the Andrew Garfields
Garfield
at the end,
films,
when
yeah.
like in the teaser where they showed like a whole bunch of different villains.
Yeah.
So
we've-
Kraven,
Yeah,
Scorpion was teased in Homecoming.
Oh, that's right. That'd be okay.
We actually have not had the very first villain that Spider-Man faced in Amazing Spider-Man #1.
The burglar who shot his uncle?
That's in Amazing Fantasy #15. In Amazing Spider-Man #1, he fights Chameleon.
Yeah. Like, do you really want Chameleon?
That's the thing. I mean,
Or, like, even Scorpion. Like,
Isn't
just
there a
feels like the
lizard?
Kraven,
lizard,
Scorpion
right?
kind of feel a little less, yeah.
And Kraven, as a kid, like, if there was a Kraven on the cover,
Yeah.
I was just immediately less interested.
Yeah, and then
Isn't
Carnage,
there a
Yeah, I do
crocodile?
not want Carnage.
who would probably show up more in a Venom
do
film.
not want Carnage.
So,
What's that, Rich?
Isn't there like an alligator or like a lizard doctor?
yeah, that would be the Lizard
Kurt Connors?
that we mentioned.
who
Okay,
was
no, I
in
didn't
the
know.
movie?
I didn't know if he had like a different thing.
No, he's called the Lizard.
Okay.
He was in the Garfield movie, right?
The first one.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he lives down in the sewer.
The first Amazing Spider-Man where he fought the giant green lizard dude that was trying to turn everyone into lizards.
Wants to regrow his arm.
Wait, in the movie or the comic?
The movie.
Movie.
I don't remember that
He's
movie
in the
at
first,
all.
the
Yeah,
Amazing Spider-Man. Well, there's a
They
reason why they
climb up to the
rebooted
top
it.
of that big tower.
That
there's
might
a
be
big
the
fight.
reason why they rebooted it, is because people don't remember that movie at all.
Well, if you don't remember the lizard, who was?
yeah, I have no memory of that.
Yeah.
Who's the bad guy in the second one? Oh, Electro. Ugh.
And Green Goblin.
Don't
Emo.
give, okay.
Green emo goblin.
Here are the rules. Don't give me too many villains in any
Yeah.
one movie. Give
So it
me
looks like
better
we've
ones.
also got Molten Man and Hydro Man and Sandman in this one.
What about Mole Man?
That's the Fantastic Four villain.
He would be fun though. Would it be? I would like to see a Fantastic Four movie where they take on the Mole Man.
They did that. It's the opening sequence of Incredibles 2.
Okay, that's not a Fantastic Four movie.
But they're basically
It
a
might
Fantastic
as
Four.
well be.
Well, Incredibles
they-
2 is a terrible movie, so
Yeah.
it fits with your thesis that Fantastic Four movies stink.
Yeah. Incredibles 1 was good.
Yes.
It might have been, but Incredibles 2 is a
Incredibles 2 is not good.
steaming piece of
So,
garbage.
but yeah, so but I will say I'm cautiously optimistic about Mysterio.
I am too, and I'm cautiously optimistic about this movie. Tom
I do.
Holland is
Tom
like,
Holland's
the
great.
epitome of Peter Parker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just
Zendaya.
Oh yeah, she's great.
Actually, like the exchange between them, like you look pretty, and
Yeah,
therefore
so
I have value. Like that's
Again,
pretty
very
good.
very in keeping with her character from the
Yeah.
first film.
Yeah,
Yeah, my hope is that we get a third film that actually has him kind of more traditionally Spidey,
yeah,
running around New York, taking pictures,
right, taking pictures,
fighting villains.
taking pictures. That's what it
Like I want to see a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
yes, yeah, which we really haven't gotten.
We haven't really gotten
Yeah.
Homecoming, and then he went off to Infinity War and got turned to dust, and now he's on his European vacation.
Yeah, the dust thing is.
Oh my God, they need to swing around in a circle and say, "Hey kids, Big Ben, Parliament. Hey kids, Big Ben,
And then
Parliament."
Aunt May makes a sex tape that she doesn't realize is a sex tape, and it's no. See, you could do that in the '80s, and you can't do it
Yeah,
anymore.
you could not do that now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies you could not do Revenge of the Nerds now.
Actually, Revenge of the Nerds is repulsive,
bad.
nauseating, offensive, and probably
No, not
criminal.
probably.
Criminal.
It is.
Literally.
Yeah, it's
no, you could not
weird.
do Revenge of the Nerds. There's stuff in European Vacation you can't do anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The 80s. Good times.
indeed.
So,
Not a good time for superheroes movies, though.
Well, you basically have the Christopher Reeve Superman, and that's about it.
Yeah, but the best Superman is 70s, right?
78.
78.
And the second one's 81.
So 78 is technically the 70s.
Yeah, but the second one
Is it, though?
is really good, too.
Yeah, it's barely
If
the
you've
80s.
given
And
up
then
on numbers,
the next
is it
couple
really?
are not so good.
Oh, you didn't like the one with Richard Pryor?
I don't
That was
remember much about it, but
I
no.
had the novelization of that one. That's Superman 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Woo! That's
I had that. Yeah, I really liked
You know, I
Superman
laugh
3.
at that, but if somebody came to me and said, would you write the novelization of Batman versus Superman?
You
I'd
would.
write it. And I'd
Yeah.
keep Martha in it.
Of course. You can't change the movie that much.
No. I mean, Martha is kind of the pivot
It is.
for that movie.
It's a very intelligent moment.
Now I'm trying to imagine Chevy Chase in Homecoming or Far From Home.
it would be kind of funny if like Spider-Man.
The other thing I
swinging
do
by
find
and it's just
interesting
stealing the station
is-
wagon.
If you watch the trailer online,
Yeah.
there's one slight change they make to the trailer in the theaters.
What's that?
When at the end, when Flash Thompson is talking,
Yeah.
in the movie in the theaters, he says, "Hey, buttwad."
Yeah.
It's not buttwad.
Oh
Really?
yeah,
In the
yeah,
trailer,
just watch
it's-
online.
if you watch it online, it's a different word.
Really? Mm-hmm. What's the word?
Oh, dickwad.
I don't think you can say that on a podcast.
Well, you just told me to, so
I did. I asked.
I'm quoting the film.
You
It's
asked
okay. You
after
said
you said it.
shithole in the previous episode.
That's different.
now
Shithole
this
is,
episode's
shithole
messed
is
up.
not nearly as bad as dickwad.
No, I think they're about on par.
No way.
What about a shitwad?
Now we're losing a sponsorship.
Dickhole?
Yeah, oh, jeez.
Well, now we're good.
I can't.
Yeah.
Let's.
We're losing sponsors.
We
Didn't know
we
we
have
had any
sponsors?
sponsors.
I was gonna surprise you, but too late.
Is it Mountain Dew?
Shasta. It should be Shasta.
Probably Scroll Candy.
Scroll candy.
And that'd be great. Like if Skull Candy like makes like some like
Yeah.
Captain Marvel branded.
So I feel like we've
awesome.
drifted off a bit.
We have, and I know
It's
you've got
okay.
dog duties.
I got to go let the dog out.
You let the dog out.
Me.
Yeah. All right. So it feels like we've wrapped another excellent podcast.
It
another
is. That was a
trailer
quality
park.
episode.
It doesn't feel like it, but
Oh, meep.
Merp, merp.